Now we're going to turn our attention to writing these using interval notation. So let's take this problem that we've done before and let's get the range using interval notation. And because we want the range, we're focusing on the y-axis, so the vertical, and we're trying to get the highest point and we're trying to get the lowest point. And I always say that backwards. The lowest point always goes first. So here we can see that the lowest point was -4. We have an open circle, so we can cut this with a dashed line. So here we have a -4 as the lowest point. And then our highest point is this one, +2. We have a closed circle, so we can cut this with a solid line. Lowest point, highest point, let's record that using interval notation. So for interval notation, we're going to use the parentheses and the brackets. Closed circles are associated with brackets and open circles are associated with parentheses. So here we see that the -4, and actually let's just pair up the lowest point and with the highest point. So we have -4 and we have +2. Remember, the lowest goes first and then the highest goes second. For interval notation, we have to close these with brackets or parentheses. Let's begin with the -4. -4 is open, so we're going to use a parenthesis. +2, on the other hand, that one is closed, so we're going to use a bracket. And that would be the range of this graph using interval notation. Let's do one more example. So here we're going to do an example with infinity. So right here on the right, we're going to make the assumption that this is going to go forever. So we have an arrow on the right. So here this arrow is going towards infinity. We have to find the lowest point though. We don't have a highest point, but we can find the lowest point, remembering that it was here at the edge. And since there's no openness here, we're gonna take it as a closed circle. So we're gonna cut this with a solid line at -5. Now we can record this using interval notation. Now for infinity, we had to remember that interval notation does take into account this concept of forever. So we have to include it. So let's write lowest, and we're going to pair it with the highest. So our lowest value was -5. Our highest value, we're going to use the concept of infinity. Infinity always gets closed with a parenthesis. Okay. And then the -5, since that was closed, we're going to use a bracket. And that would be how you would write the range of this using interval notation.